What's up, guys? So today we're going to be changing out a set of axle shafts on a Sedan 44 on a JK here, but it's going to be the same concept for any JK axle. And if you're wondering, they're all the 44s in the rear. There were a select few in 2007 that had 35s. So, anyways, what you're going to need: 18mm wrench, 8mm other little socket or wrench, pry bar. What you first want to do, I did this already to save some time. Just jack up the Jeep, make sure you block it off properly, and get everything ready to go. So, first things first, I'm going to take off your brake caliper here. There's two 18mm bolts here. They're put on at 65 foot-pounds, so they're a little bit tight, but they'll come off pretty easily with some pressure. Normally. There it goes. Alright, so when you're removing this, your rotor is going to be loose, so you got to be careful to make sure it doesn't fall on your foot or a knee, because they're pretty heavy. Set that off to the side. You want to make sure wherever you lay it, it's not got too much tension on it. You don't want to lose your brake line here. If you're having some trouble getting your rotor off, check to make sure your e-brake's off. That'll hold it on. Take this guy off, set it to the side. Next, what you're going to have to want is, again, your 18mm, your rag, and your 8. So, if you're lucky enough to be able to get your sensor off easily, go ahead and take that off now. Otherwise, I usually have to undo this bolt, because those sensor clips aren't that easily taken off. Alright, you're going to pull that guy out. You notice you're going to pull it out of the way, it's not going to want to move. So go ahead and give this turn around, upside down, some twists. And it should come right out. Take that guy, tuck it off to the side where it's out of the way. You don't want to accidentally break it. They're 33 bucks. They're not expensive, but you don't want to have to break one and try to figure out your whole issue. While it's off, go ahead and take a look here. This is what a brand new one looks like. And this is what a used set looks like. Not really sure if the camera is focused on it too much, but you can see this guy has got some wear marks. This goes over the tone ring here, which is this little cog looking like piece. And the JKs have a specific amount of cogs on them, or pieces that stick out, as this is how it determines the speed and controls your ABS sensor, your ABS brakes and all that. So what you want to go next is on the back side of the flange. There's 4 bolts. Again, 18mm. They're on at about 45 foot-pounds. So we're going to go ahead and get these guys off. Keep them where you know where they are. Another thing to do is get your e-brake off. Now you're going to sit here all day trying to finagle with it, but if you notice it goes through 2 hooks, just undo that last loop and then give it a little pull, and it'll pull the cord out so you got some room to move. And you'll be able to pull it out from the latch there in the rotor, in the parking brake here. Fortunately, you can't really fit a wrench under, a socket or a gun under here, so it takes a little bit of wrist work, if you know what I mean. Got all these guys off. Have your rag ready. Sometimes this guy takes a little bit to come off. You might have to use a pry bar. If you use a pry bar, put it behind the 3/8 inch flange right here and between the 1/2 inch flange and pry between there. So let's go ahead, pull it out. Don't hit the camera. Suck that rag in there just to make sure no fluids come pouring out. Alright. Go ahead and get your new shaft. Then you're literally just going to pull this guy off. Now remember, it goes on like this. Parking brake in the front. So let's put it on. This isn't a perfect square here. You can tell that these guys are further apart than these guys are. So use that to line up with the flange on your newest shafts. Also make sure that this first part of the ring right here is free of any debris, and the end of your shafts are free of any debris. Alright, now I want to get this guy on just enough to start putting these 4 bolts back on. You can reuse your stock ones. If you're pushing it and your bolts aren't going all the way through, just reach in here and push them brand new silver looking piece where the bolts are pressed into, and it should stick it out just enough. Otherwise, just get one on, start tightening just a little bit, and it'll pull the rest through. We're going to go ahead and get these guys tightened back up. Again, 45 foot-pounds. And go in a crisscross order. So let's get this guy nice and snug. Don't got to tighten down all the way just yet. And do the diagonal part next. That way it just gets it all pushed in evenly. Alright, now that everything's snug, we're going to go ahead and put them all down to 45 foot-pounds. Now I'm just tightening these guys to around what I guesstimate it is, and I'll hit it with the torque wrench after the video. Alright guys, we got those on. We're going to go ahead and put that parking brake back on. Alright, ABS sensor next. Again, it can be a little bit of a hassle to get on. So you want to put it on where it's not in the right orientation first. I mean, if you keep your sway bar links on. Otherwise, you can pull these guys off and they'll go on no problem. Just be careful, you do not want to crack or break them, and you're gonna have a bad time. Alright, just get that guy unsnug. Doesn't have to go in tight. It's just holding the sensor. It's not holding any bit of pressure. Next, we're going to take our brake caliper right here. Make sure there's enough space for your, just kidding. What's it going to squeeze onto? Dirt. Take your rotor. Place that guy back on. Easy peasy. Again, do not let it fall on your foot. It's going to hurt. There we go. Take those 2 bolts you removed earlier. Get one finger tight on. Then go ahead and get the other one on. We're going to go ahead and get this guy tight. So once we get him tight to 65 foot-pounds, so it's 2 bolts, 65 foot-pounds. What's smart to do, and is a good thing to keep in mind and practice, is go ahead to Walmart and get one of these Sharpies. They're paint Sharpies, so they're oil-based. So when you're done, you go ahead and you find the bolts, you put a nice line on the bolt, and then on to the nut, and then to whatever the piece of metal is. That way in the future, make it a good habit to kind of check those things. If you see something's rotating, that means it's coming loose and it's not good. So this is easy knowledge to do, easy to do yourself, and it's good knowledge to know. If you ever go off-roading and you break a shaft and you have a spare, you can swap it out right on the trail. It takes 20 minutes, as you just saw. So I hope this helps you guys. So if you have any questions, comment them below. Subscribe for more videos like this, and give me a like because that helps me out. Alright guys, see you next video.